let's put some expenses on this. So if we go to expenses, we've got two expenses from what I remember. We've got an operating expense, which is $3 million a year, I believe, right? Let me just look at it. $3.5 million per year, growing at 3%, and also property management at EGI. Now I'm going to come back to vacancy later. So for now, what I'm just going to do, and you're going to see why in a bit, but for now, I'm just going to. So let me just move my head to the top here. This way, it's out of the way of the percentages and the growth here. Let me just do a couple things here. So I'm going to put in a line for vacancy, which again, we're going to come back to. And that's a good thing to do. Like if you're in the middle of working on something and you're not ready to go tackle it, that's fine. But just at least have a line for it. And then also down here, I'm going to have like effective gross income, right? Gross income. And generally, I like to show vacancy as a negative. So I'm going to do gross income, adding back vacancy. That's just going to get dragged across. Cool. For expenses, I've got operating expenses, and I have property management fee. The property management fee is linked back. I'm going to have a link here to the 2.5%. Again, I like to show things on the statement. Some people don't do this. Some people like to hide it inside of a formula. I like to bring it out this way if anyone ever asks, like, what is it? Like, it's right there. You know, that's a preference. Some people don't like that. Some people find that to be messy. That's just how I like to show stuff. Again, you know, there is such a thing as preference in how you like to lay it out. Anyway, so the PM fee times the EGI, that's that. And I'm put dollar signs on the property management fee. And the OpEx, it said that it was $3.5 million. Obviously, that's per year. I could just divide by 12 and make that, you know, per month, right? And then while I'm at it, I'll just do a little, you know, per year, per month. You know, and I didn't color code anything on this page yet. Let me just do a quick color code. If you just want to quickly color code some stuff, it is just nice to do this little trick, and it's really simple. You just do, where the heck is it? Home, find, select, go to special, constants that are numbers, and if I do constants that are numbers under find and select, I can make all of these blue. Personally, because I'm old, I like to do the old blue color back from the days of Excel 03. I'm going to do a pure blue color. I personally like that darker blue. Everyone's got their blue preference. At least those of us who spend too much time spreadsheeting stuff have a blue preference. That's my blue preference. Make of that statement what you will. Okay, fine. As you can see, the things that are formulas are black. The things that are not formulas are, well, blue. Anyway, moving along. So in this case, the OpEx is going to be 291. And I'm going to take that, and I'm going to dollar sign that by pressing F4. I'm going to grow that by the expense growth factor. I'm going to format this to get rid of the pennies, because I don't need pennies. And if I drag it across, we see the property management fee goes up over time. The OpEx goes up with inflation. Again, life is good. Take that, drag that to month 132. Probably want to sum that just so I have a total OpEx. And this would, of course, get us to our net operating income, which is, again, EGI minus OpEx. And I could just take that and copy that all the way down and paste it, and there it is, right? That was just a Control-Shift right arrow and Control-V to paste. I just did a copy, Control Shift right arrow to highlight, Control V to paste, and well, there's your NOI. Cool. So if I've got an NOI and I've got my lease up and I've got my rents, I can do like a really basic valuation. Again, I know I haven't put in vacancy yet. I will get to vacancy, I promise. I just want to get to that a little bit later. In this case, if we have a purchase price and we have a cap rate, we can do some valuation. So let's do that. Now, usually when I do valuation, I'm going to have a tab for that too. So I'm going to have a tab here that I'm going to call my valuation tab. Well, let's see what we've got to work with. In this case, we got our purchase price. And the purchase price is going to be the fact that we're buying it for $220 million. That's my purchase price. We have the NOI in year 11, and we're going to have a cap rate. The cap rate is going to be that we're selling it at a 4.25 cap. It also mentions that we're going to have, it looks like there's going to be closing costs that are 3.5% of the disposition price. Okay, fine. And let's get the NOI. The NOI in this case is going to be the sum of 12 months of NOI. So for this, I can literally just go to the end here and just highlight 12 months of NOI. So there you go. That's 12 months. You can see the little tooltip says 1R times 12C, indicating I've highlighted one row and 12 columns. So this divided by that is my gross sales proceeds. We've got the cost of sale, which is going to be 3.5%, which is going to be this times that. And then we're going to have the net sales proceeds, which is going to be this minus that. Of course, the formatting right now looks like heck. I want to clean that up a bit. Great. So if I've got my purchase price, and I've got my sales price, and I've got my NOI, and according to the prompt, there's no like capital costs in here. It looks like it's really being kind of, simple about it. I can now do an unlevered valuation, and I can do like an IRR and other things. It does also say you might want to do some sensitivity tables playing with what if the purchase price varies, what if the cap rate varies. We're going to get to that. Again, for now, I just want to do IRRs. So let's do an IRR, and it also says an equity multiple. Okay, sure. So to do an unlevered valuation, we've got the purchase price, the NOI, and the net sales proceeds. Okay. Starting at month 0, going across to 120 months. The purchase price is negative 220. When you do valuation, you want to, show the money out is negative, the money in is positive. The NOI, on the other hand, is, again, the NOI. And I'm going to take that and copy that all the way across to 120. And then the sale is going to be the 458. If I sum those three cells and I copy it all the way across, and just for funsies, I put some underlining and a little bit of formatting, because again, I'm big on the formatting, we can now do our IRR. Now, this IRR is going to seem unusually low, because that's going to be a monthly internal rate of return. Obviously, monthly IRR is not what we want. The IRR per month is not the IRR annual. And to do the annual, I'm going to do 1 plus the monthly rate to the 12th power minus 1. Again, we don't want to just multiply by 12. We want compounding. So we take it to the 12th power minus 1. That gets me to 13.73%. Groovy. That's that. We also could just do a quick whole dollar profit. In other words, all the money in, all the money out. And I'll do a whole dollar profit. Kind of like an equity multiple, but on an unlevered basis. That's usually what people mean. And if I sum up everything, we are positive 411. If we do this as like a multiple, I mean, I'll call it an equity multiple. It's not really an equity multiple because, you know, it's unlevered. I mean, you could call it different things, but if you just wanted to do that, you could be like, well, here, I'll call it like a whole dollar profit multiple. I'm not saying that's the right way to call it. I mean, there are different words for this, different people with different phrasing. But if I just wanted, here, I'll just call it an equity multiple. I guess it's fine. It's an equity multiple, even though it's unlevered. If I did this, I could sum the future divided by the present, and it's 2.87 on an unlevered basis. Cool. So that's IRR, and that's some sort of multiple. Again, we haven't put in any debt. We're going to get to that. You know, what I could do, though, just to get us started, is I could at least build a quick data table. Let me see if the data table is unlevered or levered. I don't know. It doesn't actually say if it should be unlevered or levered. It says place 2 tables, one for playing with the purchase price, one for the IRR. And it's weird the way they wrote it. They said place 2 tables, one showing this, one showing that. I think they really meant one table showing the 2 things on an axis. I could do it either way, but let me just do a table because I can. Okay. And even though it says showing it at a purchase price of 210, 215, 225, 230, since we're 220, I'll include that as part of it too, because you might as well. So to do a data table, you got to do it on this page. Otherwise, it's just not going to work. So I'm going to do a data table that says show it at 220 million. And let me just add $5 million to that and subtract 5 million from that. And let me, again, do some formatting. Looks like I meant to, there we go. Okay, so 210, 215, 220, 225. That's the purchase price. And this table is going to be for the unlevered IRR, which is going to be a link to the valuation page. And then along the side, we're going to play with cap rates. So it says here, we're going to do from 4 to 4.75. It didn't say include 4.25, but we should because we have it, so we might as well. So if this is the cheapest, I should also make the cap rate the highest here, just so this way the upper left-hand corner will be like the best case, the bottom right will be the worst case. And I'll just add something to it and do some formatting. So 4, 4 1/4, 4 1/2, 4.75. Once you got that set up, if I just do data, what if, data table, The stuff on the top is linked to D3. The stuff on the side is linked to D48. Press OK. And we have here a data table. This will almost definitely need to be formatted. Let me format that. And you can kind of tell it's working because at 4 1/4 and 220 million, we get 13.73, which, is what we would expect. Now, it did say in the prompt to do 2 tables and to show the impact on IRR on both of these. Okay, I mean, I can do that. What you could have done instead, which is not my preferred way of working it out, is you could have done the 4, 4 1/4, 4 1/2, 4.375 and solve for the IRR. And you could have also solved for the IRR and done, here I'll do transpose function, just to change the direction of these things. You could have done, 210 to 230. And then if you'd wanted to, you could have again done a data what if data table. But this is kind of a trick question because then it's like, what's the row, what's the column? The row is not an input cell, so I leave that blank. The column is 4 1/4. So there's my IRRs. And in the same way, I could do data, what if, data table, row is blank, column is linked to the purchase price, press OK. And again, there it is. Whether or not you want to do that on 1 table or 2, it's up to you. I like doing it in 1 table because, why reinvent the wheel? But if you like reinventing the wheel, I guess that's your choice. And again, you'd want to label this as, what it is. I just insert a column here just so I can say that this is the cap rate, and then just move that bad boy over 1. There you go. And I'll say that this is the purchase price. And up here, I will put the unlevered IRR. Again, I wouldn't do all of this. I mean, this is absolute overkill. I would do one or the other. Either do a column and a row, or do only a row or only a column, but that's up to you. In either case, I've done it both ways, and there you go. That's some data table stuff. But, let's keep on moving. We're going in the right direction here. Awesome. A lot more to do.